Hmm. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm Tonya, and this is a comeback yoga class or session for yoga veterans, or sorry, for military veterans, families, active duty military, and support team. This comeback yoga class is basically all levels, but working more towards experienced levels of practitioners working with stability and strength today. So we will be doing some plank poses, working with some standing strength and some balance. So if you have a chair or a wall nearby, that could help facilitate some of the standing work that we do. And we'll be doing um, some floor work, some standing work, and then a little bit of stretching at the end with a guided meditation. Always remember to do what you can. And the many benefits of doing this live, of course, at home, is you can always stop and know that it will be recorded, uploaded, and you can pick it up again. So, really, if at any time you even feel overwhelmed by anything, even just pausing for a moment, taking a moment in child's pose, or having a seat can sometimes be really grounding, really beneficial. Just work wherever you're at today. I'm here to support you. And if you have any questions or concerns, please type them in the chat if you have that option. Um, I'm here for you. I'll keep checking the chat if anything does come up. I can address it as we move through our practice today. So let's just take a big inhale and exhale, maybe making an audible sigh. If there's anything that you've brought with you today that you need to let go of or release, let's do that now. Inhaling and exhaling. There may be things that continue to arise, but offer them a way out and come to your practice today, meeting yourself where you're at and with acceptance. And as we move into the practice, I'm here as your guide, but as you move through this, your inner guide is your greatest resource and your most intelligent guide, really. So meet yourself there with acceptance and kindness. We'll join the hands together. Take a big breath in and exhale and let it out. With your next inhale, we'll bring the arms up overhead, pressing those palms together, feeling a little bit of energy through the chest. And then exhale over to one side, just a little like the arms on a clock, coming to one side, feeling the opposite side start to engage. And inhale, bring the arms back up to center, torso back to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, let's go again to the side. Bring your body back up and exhale to the other side. One more time, back to the other side. Back up and to the other side. Inhale, rise back up, and then pressing the palms together, come back to center. Take your arms straight out to the sides. Turn your palms up, and then reach those arms back up overhead. And exhale, bend your elbows out to the sides. Inhale, bring the arms back up. Exhale, bend your elbows to the sides. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Good. Now keep your arms out to the sides if that's okay. If it puts too much strain on the shoulders or you start to build a lot of tension, then release the arms down. With your next exhale, turn to one side, just a little or a lot, and inhale, come back to center. Exhale, turn to the other side. Come back to center, and we'll do that again 2 more times, each side. Exhaling. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Noticing any warmth that might be coming into the midsection, any warmth that might be coming into the shoulders, and then come back to center. Good. Bringing those arms down and just shake out the wrists, shoulders, and then pause for just a moment. Maybe circle those wrists and take a sigh. Take a couple more breaths here. Just sensing maybe some heat in the upper body. You might notice that heat. You might start to notice even some tingling. Could be in the hands, it could be in the shoulders, could be in the midsection. All right. And we're going to come down onto our mat now for a little bit more core work and warming up the big joints before we come into some standing poses. So come down onto your mat or to the floor. It's cold here in Colorado, and I have to shed some layers of my big heavy winter socks. All right. So placing those feet down onto the ground, arms to your sides. And just put a little bit of pressure into those feet to feel the surface beneath you. You might even put a little pressure into the arms here, into the palms, and just kind of notice what that does to the torso again. Where you might notice is some energy in the shoulders, maybe the arms, maybe the core, maybe even the head. And try to relax the breath as you do this. Now press down a little bit more into those arms and the feet as you lift the hips slightly towards the ceiling. Pause at the top of your bridge here and then release the hips down slowly as you exhale. Again, press down to lift the hips up and exhale, lower the hips down. You might pick a point on the ceiling for the gaze, or you might have the eyes closed. 2 more times. Lift the hips, press down, and release, lower down. Last one, a little tone along the back side as you press down. You might notice even the glutes start to engage a little bit. And then exhale, lower down. Feel a release of the glutes. Good. Now we're going to add a leg lift. So press down into your feet and lift one leg up. Send that leg to the ceiling and then bring the knee back in and lower the foot down and release down. All right. Sometimes these slower movements are harder. So this is something to just notice. Press down into the feet, lift the opposite knee, bring it into the chest. And if it's possible, maybe straighten the leg to the ceiling. Oh, knee comes in and lower your foot down. Lower the hips down. Let's go again. Other side. So inhale, lifting, knee comes into the chest, straighten the leg if possible, and knee to chest, lower foot and hips down. You're doing great. Let's do it again. Other side, push down. Maybe you're feeling stronger. Maybe you're feeling a little bit of quivering. You might notice a little warmth in the back line of the body. Lower down. Now, if you'd like to join me, we'll do just one more. Push down, knee to chest, leg up, noticing your breath. Back in and down. One more, the other side. Little tone, knee to chest, lift up, back in, and come down. Yeah, I know. Okay, let's just straighten the legs, stretch it out. Bring your arms overhead, maybe next to the ears or slightly wider. And just big good morning stretch. And releasing the arms down. Take your right foot onto your left thigh. So I'm mirroring you today. So when I say right, it's my left, but your right. Not to confuse things. All right, take your knee to the left. Open your arms out to the side and bring your bottom hand, your left hand, onto the right thigh. And come back to the middle. Bring that knee into the chest. And then straighten your leg to the ceiling. Hold on to the back of the leg here as you feel a little bit of extension of those arms, a little pressure into the hands. Release the hands, bring your arms straight up to the ceiling, and maybe the palms come together. Press down into that bottom foot. Lift your arms a little bit higher up to the ceiling. Exhale. And then maybe lift your bottom foot an inch or two off of the floor. Good. And then bring your knee back to your chest. And let's hover the left leg above the floor. Again, hovering above the floor, maybe an inch or two, maybe 3 or 4, or maybe 5 or 6. And then bring both knees into the chest. And lower your right leg to the floor. Place your left foot on the right thigh. Open your arms out and then lower the left knee to the right. Come back to center. Straighten your left leg to the ceiling. Holding on to that left leg. Press down into the right foot. And maybe hover it now a few inches or barely off of the floor. Bring your left knee to your chest and keep hovering the right leg. Maybe it comes up a little bit. And bring both knees into your chest. Let's hover that right leg again. Straighten the left leg again to the ceiling. Arms come up overhead. Lift the arms slightly towards the ceiling. Press down into your back as you reach the arms up. And bring both knees to the chest. Roll the ankles. And then circle the knees in opposite directions. To the side, to the middle, and then going the other way. All right. Place the feet down and pause for just a moment. And roll to one side. You can rest your head on your bottom arm or on a pillow if you had one. And pressing yourself up. Coming to tabletop position with the hands under the shoulders and the knees more or less under the hips. So we're going to move into cat-cow here. So if you know it, you can start it. If you want to go with me, the next inhale, we'll look up to the ceiling. Little bend in the elbows. On your exhale, lift the navel and draw the head down. So imagine drawing a straight line with the nose up to the ceiling, and then a straight line down along the mat between the hands to the navel. And continue. So the inhale, we might look up if that's okay, and the head doesn't cause any dizziness. If it does, then keep the head lifted before you bring it, and don't bring it down. Let's do 2 more times. Little bend in the elbows. You can even look at the tip of the nose as you round and as you lift. And we've got one more, or certainly if you're at a different pace than I am, you might have more or you might have less. Good. All right. I'm bringing the hips back now into child's pose. Little bend in the elbows. Forehead can rest on the floor, or you might support it with the hands. If this bothers the knees in any way, elevate the hips or sit on a block or a pillow. Take 2 more breaths here. You might sense a little stretch on the fronts of the feet. It might be at the back of the knees. You might even sense a nice stretch for those hips. You might sense some uncomfortable sensations. Just whatever you notice, pick it up. All right, we'll reach the arms forward. Come up to tabletop again. Tuck your toes under and then lift up, downward facing dog, stretching out those legs. You might sense something open or some tingling at the back of the knees. You might even sense the breath a little longer, a little smoother. And bend the knees slightly, look forward, step your left foot forward into a lunge. Help it there if you need. Push strongly into the floor here with that left foot. And then come up onto the left thigh. Push down. So we start to build some strength and some warmth in the body. Keep pressing down as you begin to straighten the arms and lift the torso. Now bring the arms forward, steady as you go. The shoulders come back, and then the arms lift. Steady in their breath. Maybe take a gaze at something on the wall in front of you. Crescent Lunge. Bring your hands back down to the lap Hinge forward. Support yourself all the way down to the ground. Place those hands down and step back to downward facing dog. Invite length in the breath. Invite length in the arms. Invite length in the legs. Wherever you can lengthen, invite it in. Bend your knees, look forward. Step your right foot now forward between the hands. Help it if you need. Push down into that right foot. Feel how that possibly gives you more stability through the hips. Bring your hands up onto the thigh. Push down. Begin to straighten the arms. As you push down, you might even sense a little bit of rounding through the spine. And then, if you're steady and stable, bring those arms forward. Parallel the arms. Bring the shoulders back. Lift the arms now straight up to the ceiling for Crescent Lunge. Yeah, you got this. You have your own power to choose here. If you want to stay another breath or two with me or come down. Great. And then lower down. We'll step back again to downward dog. Extending long. Again, sovereignty. You can bring the knees down for child's if you like, or stay with me. 2 more breaths. Bring your left knee down underneath the hip, coming into side plank now. Turn the hips and reach the right arm up, side plank. Hold for 2 more breaths. Option is to lift your top leg. And if you lifted the top leg, bring it down, coming back. And this time we'll come into plank pose. Option is to come down to the forearms. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Take your right knee down to the floor and open the hips up to that side plank, reaching the top arm up and maybe lifting the back leg. And lower down, coming back into plank. And again, I'll demonstrate. You could do a forearm plank here. You could also have the knees down. Always remembering that you have a choice. Everyone, come on down if you'd like to join me in a Cobra. So we'll come into Sphinx actually with the arms parallel, look forward and up. And then exhale, come down. Bring those arms to your sides for a pose called Locust. So we'll lift the chest, the shoulders, the legs, and the head. Reach long. So think about, grasshopper, locust. That's what we are here. Kind of looks like it, right? Okay, these names they come up with. All right, and lower down. Turn your head to one side. All these poses named after animals and critters. Okay, come back through the center. Let's do that again. Energize the back of the body, lift up, even notice your toes, notice your fingers. What else might you notice? And hold another breath or two here. And exhale, lower down, turn your head to the other side. All right, come back through center. We're going to do it just one more time. I know I said 2, but we'll come up. And then this time, though, we're going to bring the hands next to the ribs. Elbows hug the sides. Lower your legs. So Cobra is here, shoulders back and down. If you want more, come up, straighten the arms, and engage the back line of the body for an upward dog. The toes press down. All right, and then bring the knees down, coming into tabletop or a plank. Lift up, find downward facing dog. Bend your knees, step your left foot forward for that lunge. Good. Coming up into our crescent lunge. Arms forward, shoulders back. Lift those arms up. We're going to add a twist now. So bring the hands to the heart. Start to hinge forward. Find the strength in the back and the front. And then turn. That elbow tip might touch the knee, or the tricep might come onto the thigh. Pressing those palms together, maybe even looking down at the floor or forward. Take your left hand onto your thigh, reach your right arm up, hold here, reach up, and then exhale, come down, pause, step back, plank. Coming into our side plank here. So either the left knee comes down or we just shift the weight to the left side. And the option again is to lift that top leg. And bringing it down, plank. Side plank other side, so either knee down or keep it lifted. Option is to lift that top leg. And lower down, back to plank. Downward facing dog, lifting the hips, forming a triangle more or less with your body. Second side lunge. Right foot comes forward. And bring yourself up. You might be feeling more stable now with the core work that we're doing. You might. All right, arms forward. And then lift up. Reach up. Bring the hands to the heart. Lean forward. And then turn, bringing the elbow tip or the tricep onto that front thigh. Your ear can come closer to your shoulder, or you can look down at the floor. Wobbling is just an indication of life. Yes, you've got this. All right, bring the right hand onto the thigh, left arm comes up, and exhale, take your hands down. Good. Step back to plank. We'll do our side planks again. You choose, knee down or not. You could even come to your forearm here and do your side plank here. And maybe lift the top leg. That's it. All right, you're doing great. And then coming down, other side. Because you have showed up, yes, that can sometimes be half of our daily battles, right? Come back to plank. Maybe it's a forearm plank. And then come all the way down to your stomach for locust again. Arms reach back, lift up, chest, shoulders, pressing the hips down. So that's the hips are the middle. The hips are the center. The hips are the strength, the stability. It's almost like a reverse boat, yeah? Okay, lower the legs and hands come next to those ribs. Here's our cobra. Or for more, engage the legs and straighten those arms. That's it. Take 2 more breaths here. I know, you could come down into child's pose if you like. Tabletop or plank. Again, if you need child's, I got you. I support that. I support childs if you need it. And downward dog. Okay, almost done with our standing poses. Just one more round, and we're adding one more pose. So look forward. Take your left foot forward for that lunge. Pushing down. We'll rise up. Crescent lunge. Hands to heart. Hinge forward. Use your exhale. Use that core warmth. Twist towards that front knee. All right, so here's the challenge. The challenge is we're going to step our back foot forward. So just wait for my cue. But the back foot's going to come forward into a chair pose. You with me? Okay, you got this. Push off that back foot. Step forward. Chair. Bring those arms forward. Lift up all the way up to standing. Reach up, reach up, reach up, reach up to the sky. Extended mountain. And exhale, hands to the heart. And release the hands down. Hopefully that wasn't too much of a surprise. Okay, let's come into our chair pose. Hips come low. Arms reach up. Tip forward, exhale, touch down. Plant the hands and step back into your plank pose. Side plank, one side. Top leg might lift. Come on back down. Plank. Side plank, other side. Plank. And downward dog. Don't worry, we're doing a lot of strength for the shoulders, but we will be stretching them out a little bit here. Okay, last round. You kind of know where you're going. Bend the knees to look forward and step your right foot right through. Good. Press to rise. This last round, hopefully, you're feeling a lot stronger. If it's feeling overwhelming, remember child's or even just to find a seat. Arms lift, crescent. Hands to heart. Tip forward. Turn. Twist. Good. 2 more breaths here. Big stretch here, I know. All right. Take a look down. We've got our chair coming. So here we go. Get all the strength you can. Muster it up. Push off that back foot and step to your chair. That's it. Bring those hands forward. Arms lift. And exhale. Come to stand. Stand tall. Hands to heart. And release those arms to your sides. Really nice work. Coming into our chair again, hips come low and the arms rise. Tip forward, straightening the legs. They don't have to go all the way straight enough that you can touch the floor, the ankles, or grab the shins. We're going to move now into pigeon pose. So we'll take our left leg back and the right foot comes down to about the center of the mat. That knee comes wide. This might be enough right here. Another option is to roll to the right hip and bring that back knee in. Okay. And then come down to the forearms. You never want to cause any pain on the front, the top of the knee there, or really the inside or the outside. So there certainly is going to be a stretch in this flexion, but we don't want to, cause any tissue damage there. So let's just take maybe another 3 breaths here. Your back leg could be straight if you're in a regular pigeon. 2 more breaths. And last breath. And pressing yourself up, maybe coming to the side. Bring the back leg around. And then straighten your right leg. The left knee comes in towards the chest, placing the foot onto the floor. Sit up tall as you push into that left foot. Good. Now, I'll show this at a slight angle. This left foot's going to come towards the right thigh. Could come out here as well. And that knee comes out to the side. If that's too much, you could place something under the knee here. Okay, inhale, bring the arms up, and then reach your left arm a little bit more to a diagonal, like you were going to reach to the outside of your right foot. And then we're going to reach it across. Your hand might land on the shin, or you might grab the foot here. And then take your right arm up and to a diagonal. So you could be here with the hand on the outside of the knee, or you could be here on the foot, reaching that right arm back. And then come back to center. Pause for just a moment. And now bend your right knee, reaching those arms up. We're going to go straight over our right knee. So reaching down, maybe grabbing the foot or the ankle, and lifting up nice and tall, and exhaling, snuggle in. You might have a little bend or a big bend or no bend. So we'll take 2 more breaths here. And then inhale, reach up and come on down. We'll take pigeon on the other side. So that left foot stays in. Can 90 the legs. Come on down this way, rolling off to the side or straightening the leg behind you. Take about 45 more seconds here. Depending on the length of your breath, it could be 5 breaths, 7 breaths. And you might notice a stretch in the hip. You might notice a stretch in the back. You might notice something along the front of your back leg. Sometimes it's in the ankle. We also have these associations in our body, so you might even feel a release in the shoulders and the neck. All right, lean to the side and then come up and placing that foot just in front of the sitting bone and the left leg forward. Hug your knee in as you sit up nice and tall. And then trying to keep the gap closed here. That can be better for the knee. Otherwise, if it's better for you to take the knee forward. And we'll take the right arm up and then reach around like you're reaching towards the outside of that left foot. Maybe the hand lands on the outside of the knee or the shin, or maybe even to the foot. And then the left arm's going to come up and to the back, little twist here. So you can put a little bit of pressure on the outside knee or leg or shin. And then come up all the way through the middle, bending that left knee so that we can get a little taller in the spine. Big inhale to reach up, and then exhale, snuggle onto that leg. You might grab the foot here. Maybe go a little closer. You might look for sensation even along the back. Really depends. Again, just you are your greatest teacher. I'm here to support you. And with your next inhale, look forward, reach up, and take your hands down to your sides. Unwind those legs. And then just sit for a moment here, maybe crossing the ankles if that's okay. A little bit of stretching now for the upper body. So taking your left elbow under the right and either grabbing opposite shoulders or bringing the back of the hands together. Take 2 or 3 more breaths here. And then open out. Take your other elbow under, grabbing opposite shoulders or back of the hands together. So, in our stability work with the shoulders, it also can create tightness, which is a good sign that we then have some strength. So, we, we're looking for strength and flexibility through the yoga. It's not all about flexibility. We want to find that balance between all length and strength. All right, open those arms out wide. Bring the hands behind you and just lifting the chest here. All right, straightening your legs forward. Actually, keep a little bend in the knees here. Your hands coming right behind you, just to behind the hips here, and lower the heels of the hands down. We're going to start to lean back, coming down onto the forearms right here. Okay. And here we'll straighten the legs. And I'm going to push down into those forearms. Just get a little bit of a stretch. Not too much, but just a little bit of a stretch across the shoulders. And push down slightly into those hands and forearms. And then bend the knees and just kind of take those elbows out to the sides as you roll down with support of the arms. Lift the hips, remove the hands from under the hips here. And bring your feet a little bit wider than the hips and just do some windshield wipers to one side and then the other. And just continue side to side. And do maybe 3 more times each direction. Noticing your breath, noticing any sensations. You can allow your head to move in the opposite direction. And then coming back to center, allowing the knees to fall together, resting your hands either to your sides or using the hands on your body for personal touch. And then before we move to our final meditation, I invite you to rub your palms together, kind of in a circular fashion, and then placing the hands over the eyes with the heels of the hands at the cheekbone, and then the palms covering or cupping the eyes. And using this as a time to withdraw your senses. We use this to bring ourselves to a quieter space, both internally and when there's a lot going on around us, we feel overwhelmed. And we can also use this when our eyes are dry, tired, either from looking at the computer all day, or if you're in a dry climate like Colorado, a lot of smoke and ash in the air right now. And then release those hands down to your sides slowly with the palms facing up, still in that cup-like position. And then if you'd like to straighten the legs here and bring your attention to the center of the palm. An open hand is not just only receptive, but it can also be um, giving. An open hand is not holding tight. An open hand is capable of receiving and giving, of letting go, of taking in. An open hand is not a fist. An open hand is soft. So also notice the hinges of your jaw here. If it's helpful to toggle side to side. And also sensing the eyelids in the area around the eyes. A soft gaze inward or a soft gaze outward is also receptive. We can look inward tenderly or look outward softly. Gazing even to a beloved, whether it's a four-legged beloved or a fellow human. We can gaze tenderly into their eyes. Or next time we look in the mirror, soft focus. Taking 3 more breaths here, deepening your inhale And slowing that exhale. Inhaling, broadening, spacious. Exhaling to feel maybe a little bit more weight lifted. One more time. And now start to point and flex your feet, keeping a little bit of heel pressure so that the body starts to move. Start to be a little bit of rocking, just a gentle rocking through the whole body. And then adding some arm lifts overhead next to the ears, and then lowering the hands down back to the hips. And just continue forward and back. Those legs engaging, and then pointing toes, flexing feet, arms next to the ears, and then next to your sides. So a little bit of waking up in the body today. And then the next time those arms come down to your sides, bring one foot to the floor and then the other if you're lying on your back. And then bring one knee to your chest and then the other knee. Circle the knees in opposite directions. And going the other direction. Circling the wrists and the ankles. And then rolling to your side. And pressing yourself up to a seated position where we'll close out our practice today. Getting tall through the body, through the spine. Taking a big inhale, shoulder roll, exhale. 2 more times. Shoulder roll, exhale. Last one, big shoulder roll. Exhale. We'll join the hands together in front of the heart and just taking a moment to soften that gaze inward and just give a moment of gratitude that you arrived. You brought yourself to your mat today. You made choices that were for your best interest. And then honor that with a gratitude, either with a namaste or with a thank you or whatever, however you'd like to express that gratitude. And then releasing the hands and lifting the gaze. It's been my pleasure to be here to guide your practice today. Again, my name is Tonya. Comeback Yoga is a nonprofit organization serving you all. And if you'd like to donate to Comeback Yoga, you can do so in the link below. You can also join us for our virtual breakfast coming up this Wednesday. It'll be on YouTube live at 7:30 Mountain Standard Time. And we hope to see you all there. Thank you so much. Take care, all. And good to see you again, EJ. Bye-bye.